up first, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins in one of the more anticipated matches at WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to this one. I feel like this match is going to be great. One of these show stealers, as everyone's been saying. So, RJ, I'll start with you. Will Randy Orton get his vengeance at WrestleMania, or does Rollins reign supreme? What do you feel like? What do you got?
I don't think this is as predictable, but I think Rollins has to go over. I think Rollins hasn't got over on Orton since Orton turned his back on him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be dirty or something, but I think Rollins has to win here. I think Randy Orton winning wouldn't really help Randy Orton. If Rollins wins, I think it would help him more. His first WrestleMania on his own, winning, and he'd probably be the only heel that would probably win, besides Lesnar maybe. But I think it'd make perfect sense for Rollins to win, come out of WrestleMania strong, beating Randy Orton, and going on to facing whoever, maybe cashing in the title. But if he loses to Orton and then cashes in, he kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like devalues his loss to Orton. So then why wouldn't Orton just face him again and beat him?
Exactly.
I think it has to be Rollins.
You make a great point, too. You said that he might be the only heel that wins in terms of the main event matches, and I absolutely agree. I'm looking at it right now, and it feels like it's very, very babyface favored, so you're going to have one heel go over, and it very well might be Seth Rollins. That doesn't change my pick, but I'll get to that in a minute. But, Mike, who's your pick for the Orton versus Rollins match at WrestleMania?
I think RJ basically nailed it on the head. I just blogged about it earlier, but too, going through this match, I'm not a big fan of looking at, first off, I don't understand who bets on the WWE. But
yeah.
There are people out there that bet on it. And I don't know, RJ, did you see that they WWE just did a deal with DraftKings too, like a daily fantasy site?
Yeah.
For SummerSlam, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Anyways, but I saw that the favorite right now is Randy Orton, and that actually took me by surprise a little bit because I don't think Orton is still young and he's in his prime still and everything, but I just think that he doesn't have a ton to gain by winning this match. I think extend the feud a little bit more and have him win Extreme Rules. Give Rollins the win here. Like you guys said, maybe by something dirty. I don't think it really matters if it's clean or dirty. But I think it's important that Rollins gets that big singles win in his first singles match at WrestleMania. And then possibly cashing in later in the night or the next night. But I think him beating Orton definitely continues to push him upward.
The build for this match has been really, really weird because Orton came back like a house of fire at Fastlane, targeting Rollins, right off the bat, and it was great. And then the next night he rejoined the Authority for a few weeks, and then he turned on him again, and he beat the living crap out of Rollins on Raw. The build has been very, very weird. It's like they got it out of order. They should have done the Authority stuff first, then attacks him, and then then he tries to get his hands on him before he finally gets his hands on him on the final Raw before WrestleMania. The build has been very, very odd. But the match itself, though, I think we can all agree, it could be great. And the outcome could be very much in question. Because I feel like Rollins could get his huge win, kind of establishing himself as a star at WrestleMania. Whereas with Randy Orton can, come back, get his big win. And I'll get into my thoughts on that just in a second. But it could very well go either way. So we got 2 picks for Seth Rollins. Orton, who do you got up next for this matchup?
Well, make it 3. It has to be Seth Rollins. And the reason why I'm going with that way is because I'm going at it from the standpoint of maybe the WWE doesn't associate Seth Rollins with the WWE title just yet in terms of not just being the champion, but in terms of maybe being in pursuit. And honestly, I would like to see Rollins Orton extend beyond WrestleMania. I think you could do it for at least another month, continue the playoff attention, and especially with Rollins, now that, Orton has basically dominated this month ever since his return, and with him beating down Rollins and getting his hands on him, if you have Rollins beat Orton at WrestleMania, that's at least 2 weeks' worth of solid material in terms of what he can use against Randy Orton. And then you got Randy getting his payback at the next pay-per-view. But, again, I think it comes down to it that, who needs to win more? Who will it do it best for? it will definitely benefit Seth Rollins more than Randy Orton. So tell me for Rollins to beat Orton at Mania.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Arden, too. That I don't think Rollins, this feud. I personally think it can definitely go another month and conclude at Extreme Rules. What type of match they'll have, who knows? But I definitely think you can end the feud with Rollins getting his come up and at Extreme Rules.
So
absolutely, it's just the way it has to be.
With this matchup, I mean, this is the third straight matchup that I'm going against the grain here. 3 picks for Seth Rollins. I'm going with Randy Orton, and here's why. Because Seth Rollins, I feel like, will be world champion at some point in the very near future, whether it's at WrestleMania or whether I'm thinking the night after WrestleMania on Raw, or maybe even at Extreme Rules, but I feel like he will cash in successfully and be champion. So, whereas with Randy Orton, if he beats Rollins on Sunday, he could say, hey, I beat you, give me a title match, and that can be your next title match for whatever pay-per-view, for Extreme Rules, for whatever's after that Payback. They could do a triple threat with Reigns or insert Orton in there, but I agree with all you guys in saying that the feud should continue past WrestleMania. Even though it's been a little weird before WrestleMania, both guys have been great so far. We can get more matches out of them because they have great chemistry together. We saw that a couple months ago when they worked for the first time. But we need more, we need more out of this feud coming out of WrestleMania. So I feel like Rollins will win this matchup. Or I'm sorry, Randy Orton. Randy Orton.
Whoa.
Randy Orton will win this matchup, and Rollins will win the championship, and he'll continue over the belt in the spring. So I've got Orton.
So
you guys.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yep.
All right. To disregard. When it happens, how it happens, where it happens, against who, doesn't matter who's the champion, where, when, whatever. Just a simple question. We'll start with you, Graham, and then go Arden and then RJ. Do you think Seth Rollins successfully cashes in the briefcase? Yes or no?
I was going to ask you this, guys, at the end of the show, but we'll just go with it right now. We'll just get right into it. Yes, I feel like he will do it successfully. Yes.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk more in depth about it. I just want a yes or no question.
Yeah. It's a yes for me.
Is the question, will he be successful if he cashes it in?
Yeah. Will he successfully cash in his briefcase?
Regardless of when it happens?
Doesn't matter when it is. It could be 3 months from now. When
yes.
he cashes in, will it be successful?
Yes, it has to be. Yes.
RJ?
I think this is a guaranteed yes. I think it has to be. I think it would kill his whole year of last year if he loses the Money in the Bank. That's what his saving grace has been the whole last year, how he's been Mr. Money in the Bank and he's the authority's pet in the future of the W. If he loses it, it's just throwing last year out the window.
After losing
go ahead.
I
agree with you guys. But I remember I just remember thinking back when I remember all the way back to SummerSlam back in August when Lesnar won the title and everyone was saying he's going to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania. And then Reigns is the chosen one. Reigns is going to beat Lesnar and blah, blah, blah. I just don't think that WWE has, I remember saying this, maybe I said to Graham, maybe to RJ, maybe both of you, but I just remember saying that I just don't see when I think he will successfully catch him, but I just really, part of me just doubts that they somehow aren't going to do it because I think time is running out. You have till June or July, and I don't think that they're going to give Reigns. When Reigns wins his first title, I think it's going to be a long ass title reign. I don't think it's going to be a one night thing. I don't think it's going to be a 30-second thing because they put so much into him that I really don't think that they're going to do that. Now that Lesnar re-signed, I think that definitely makes things a little bit more interesting. But we can talk about that later, like you said.
No, but absolutely, I agree. And coming out of WrestleMania, though, I felt I had that same exact mindset coming out of SummerSlam, back when he won the championship, Brock Lesnar, that is. But now that Roman Reigns, and I also felt, dating back to a few months ago, that Reigns should have a long reign with that belt, no pun intended. But at this point, now that he's not gotten over, he's not where he should be, and after that terrible ending to Raw last night, and granted, like you just said, Mike, I feel like the re-signing of Brock Lesnar definitely does throw a wrench into things in terms of whether he retains on Sunday or not. But with Roman Reigns, though, I feel like they do not have enough faith in him, right now anyway, to become the world champion for a long period of time. So they're not going to give him that long reign, in my opinion. I feel like he will.
Are we going to talk about that ending last night? Because that was.
We'll get to it when
we.
we'll definitely get to it when we get to Lesnar versus Reigns at the end. That was, like you said, I think you summed it up best. Then there was definitely something else last night at the end of Raw, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But final predictions, I've got Randy Orton, RJ Orton.
Rollins.
Oh, Rollins. Why did I say? I keep on mixing up these guys. So you got Rollins. I've got Orton. Mike, who do you got? You got Rollins, right?
Yeah, I got Rollins.
And Arden, you got Rollins?
Yep, got Rollins.
Sounds good. So another 3-1 pick here on WrestleRant Radio.